हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी धन्यवाद में।
Oh, Dhanvat Pranam. Jai Shila Prabhupada. So, bro, how are you doing? It's been a while since we spoke.
सॉरी प्रभु जी, माय वॉल्यूम वाज टू लो।
I'm saying, how are you doing?
प्रभु जी, ऑल ओके, स्ट्रगलिंग टू कंप्लीट द एग्जाम।
कितना बाकी है भाई? क्या क्या बाकी है अभी?
प्रभु जी, असाइनमेंट किया मेरा बाकी है, भगवत गीता का लास्ट एग्जाम
हम्म।
एंड उसके बाद का सो नेक्टर ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन का असाइनमेंट हो गया है। Actually, a test. I'm just getting ready to give the test, and then I've also studied um,
भगवत गीता लास्ट पार्ट
Bhagavad Gita. I kind of went through all the
और
lecture, all
पार्ट।
the classes. Just probably sit down for a few hours to revise and then give it.
ये हो जाएगा प्रभु, 2 दिन है ना, चिंता मत करो। बाद में अगर आप पूरा वो ना कर पाओ ना, पूरा सुन ना पाओ अगर, तो
Hmm.
जिस भी स्थिति में एग्जाम डाल देना बस। चाहो
Okay,
तो
Prabhu.
खाली बाद में लास्ट में खाली, अभी देखो एनओआई असाइनमेंट हो गया ना, तो एग्जाम बहुत आसान होगा आपके लिए। खाली
Okay. Yes,
ट्रांसलेशन
Prabhuji.
एक बार समझ ले, फिर एग्जाम दे सकते हो।
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. I read the whole book while I was doing the assignment. So
हाँ यस, वो असाइनमेंट है ही इतना थॉरो कि आपको सब कुछ पढ़ना पड़ता है उसके लिए। एंड
yes,
दैट इज द
Prabhuji.
पर्पस ऑफ भक्ति
Yes.
शास्त्री, इज दैट डिवोटीज आर वेल वर्स्ड विद दीज बुक्स। वही
Yes,
मोटिव
Prabhuji.
है ना, वही टेंशन है।
Yes, Prabhuji.
भगवत गीता भी आप आराम से दे दोगे, बस एक बार सारे ट्रांसलेशन पढ़ लेना, एक बार प्रेजेंटेशन गो थ्रू कर लेना, आप लेक्चर सुन ही चुके हो। और
Yes.
जितना याद रहे उस पर दे देना, उतना मुश्किल नहीं है।
Okay. Thank you for the encouragement, Prabhu.
बस किसी भी हालत में लिख देना, चाहे
Hmm.
50% ही लिख पाओ,
Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
बस लिख देना।
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, definitely, I'll do it.
हरे
ओके।
कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। प्रभु जी, जो भेजे असाइनमेंट उसका आपने मतलब स्क्रीनिंग आप कर रहे हैं प्रभु जी?
यू मीन चेकिंग?
आप या चेकिंग।
प्रभु चेकिंग ना, थोड़ा सा डिले चल रहा है। पर मैं ऐसा सोच रहा हूँ कि मतलब
मुझे ऐसा लगा कि पता नहीं आपको मिले नहीं मिले
नहीं नहीं,
असाइनमेंट्स तो।
जो जो आप भेज रहे हो मिल रहा है।
अच्छा।
तो एक कहना, एक चेकिंग मैराथन करना पड़ेगा मेरे को। अब मैं सोच रहा हूँ, वो मैं क्या सोच रहा हूँ ना कि एक बार 16 को, 17 को मैं लिस्ट बनाऊंगा। तो उसमें जिस चीज के एग्जाम नहीं आएंगे ना, तो मैं उनके असाइनमेंट चेक ही नहीं करूंगा, तो मेरा थोड़ा टाइम सेव होगा। क्योंकि क्या है ना, इनिशियली बहुत लोगों ने लिखा इनिशियली, पर धीरे धीरे कम हो गए। तो इसलिए आई एम वेटिंग फॉर 17 सो दैट आई विल मेक अ लिस्ट कि कौन कौन अपियर हो रहा है, और उनके एग्जाम में एक फोल्डर में डाल के फिर हम चेक कर लेंगे। थोड़ा इजी हो जाएगा मेरे लिए भी।
ठीक है प्रभु जी। माय वाइफ ने भी भेजा है प्रभु जी, रिचा ने भी भेजा है असाइनमेंट्स, तो आई एम नॉट श्योर उसकी ईमेल आईडी से आपको मिले कि नहीं मिले।
आप भक्ति शास्त्री भी भेजो ना, भक्ति शास्त्री ईमेल पे।
हाँ प्रभु जी।
हाँ, जो भेजो मिलेगा, मेरे को मिल जाएगा। अगर एक आधा मिसिंग होगा, सो बिफोर आई रिलीज द लिस्ट मैं आप लोग को टेक्स्ट कर दूंगा कि प्रभु जी ये मेरे पास नहीं है, कि आपने भेजा है क्या, दोबारा मांग
ठीक है।
लूंगा। पर फाइनल लिस्ट से पहले वो हम कंसोलिडेट लिस्ट बनाएंगे, उसके बाद विद द मैराथन चेक कर देंगे हम लोग, एक हफ्ते
ठीक
के
है
अंदर।
प्रभु जी। ओके।
वही थोड़ा कैमरे भी कैचअप कर देना प्रभु जी, बहुत लगता है।
मैराथन अच्छा लग रहा है सुनने में प्रभु जी। बहुत मेहनत लगेगी।
हाँ, वही काफी पर ये सेवा है ना, भक्तों का सेवा, भगवान का सेवा, यही जीवन है प्रभु, यही हमारा संतुष्टि है। ओके, किसी और कोई सवाल? एनी क्वेश्चन? ऑलराइट, ठीक है, हम चालू करेंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा तदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम् परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपा स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्ताशक्तिकम्. So we are discussing Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti number 20 onwards. We discuss up to 19th. Tan Nindadi Asahishnuta, not tolerating criticism of the Lord or his devotee. Anyone who fails to immediately leave the place where he hears criticism of the Supreme Lord or his faithful devotee will certainly fall down, bereft of his pious credit. Upon hearing the blasphemy, one should defeat the opposing party by arguments. If one cannot do that, one should give up life or leave the place. Otherwise, one falls down from one's position of devotion. This from Srimad Bhagavatam. Um, we don't propagate Gandhi's philosophy of non-violence. Rather, wherever this is the right use of anger, I mean, somehow this memory was coming of how Srila Prabhupada and sometime if you hear Srila Prabhupada morning walks in Bombay or morning walks in India, there were many people who would try to argue and would not listen in a mood of surrender because like especially Indians, old Indians, I was thinking a lot of ahankar actually. Here is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is coming from a disciplic succession of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Saraswati Thakur and the Goswamis. And he is presenting a pure teachings. And then there are people who are old and, yeah, but we don't believe this and why Krishna, this is. Today I was listening and Srila Prabhupada was saying, some people say, Krishna says, Man mana bharmat bhakto, always remember me. And they say, what Krishna actually means is to remember Krishna's soul, the soul within Krishna, and the soul within Krishna, not the body. Always remember me means always remember Krishna's soul. And Prabhupada said this is rascaldom. Avagyanati Mamura Manusam. Prabhupada was quoting these verses that rascals they think there is a difference between Krishna's body and Krishna's soul. So there are so many people who are either envious of Krishna or they just want to argue or who has seen. I mean, Prabhupada, one devotee told Prabhupada said, out of compassion, Prabhupada said, if you take up Krishna consciousness, you will break the cycle of birth and death. Birth and death nobody wants. And if one is having sinful activities, then one may either go to hell or take into body of animals like cats and dogs. And But if you go to Krishna's planet, you will be in a body with eternally, you will be eternally youthful, eternally, you will have service to the Lord. Um, and it's our constitutional position, and then intimately serving the Lord is when we can be fully satisfied. Otherwise, whether we are in human birth or whether we are in body of cats and dogs, um, there is um, there is old age is there. At some point of time, it will capture us. Death is there. I was telling one devotee recently, I don't know if I have fear of death, but I do fear about the pain that death gives us. I mean, somehow, it's not easy. Um, if we just think about going in a snow and you know, it's painful. Um, or small disease comes, it's painful. But anyways, as long as we are in this material world, disease will be there, death will be there, old age will be there. Nobody wants this. And Prabhupada says pain of birth is there. Um, but if you go to spiritual world, it is full of love. There is no envy towards anybody. There is only glorification. The relationships are pure. Everything in Golok Vrindavan is based on love, loving service, based on loving service. And there is constant engagement in hearing about Krishna's past, and there is such taste in hearing. And the spiritual world, this is, we can see pure devotees through we can see spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan, through pure devotees on this planet. I was hearing about one sannyasi, no names, and Maharaj went to New Vrindavan. Maharaj went to New Vrindavan. And New Vrindavan, he had a program in the evening. So Maharaj went to do the program. It was like uh, 5, 6 hours. Maharaj came back at 11 p.m. And then Maharaj thought, let me chant some rounds. So he sat in front of Srila Prabhupada, and he was chanting his rounds. So Pujari thought, it may be 10 p.m. So Pujari, after putting Radha Vrindavan Chandra to rest, he was going and he thought Maharaj is chanting. So let me not turn off the light of Srila Prabhupada. So he left thinking when Maharaj, because anyways, Maharaj was chanting in front of Srila Prabhupada. Then this Pujari got up at 3 a.m. after 4 hours, and he was hoping that Prabhupada is on rest. He saw from the top there is ashram upstairs. He saw Prabhupada light was on. So he thought Prabhupada, or maybe Maharaj forgot to turn off the light. He came down and he saw Maharaj is very observed chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then it continued. Then this Pujari went, he woke up the deities. Maharaj is fully absorbed in chanting. He is not aware of what is happening. And then he went to Maharaj and he told Maharaj, Mangal Aarti starting in half an hour. Maharaj said, really? What is the time to do? And he said, Maharaj, it is 4:30. Maharaj said, oh, okay. So Maharaj was chanting, and it's been 5.5 hours he was chanting. He doesn't know the time. I mean, the first thing that we know when we are chanting is what is the time that is happening. He doesn't know the time, how the time is passing by. And then after he Maharaj went, he took his bath, he came down, and Um, then again, he chanted for 2 more hours, the japa type. Then he gave Bhagavatam class, and then he had to meet somebody, and he continued till evening. And then again, he came in front of Srila Prabhupada, then he chanted, and again, he started chanting for a few hours. So, this devotee, he was just observing. Somehow, Krishna gave him the vision to observe a pure devotee. Because the thing is, pure devotees are there, they are absorbed in their own sadhana, but we don't get the good fortune to observe them unless we are very close to them. We don't understand who they are. Or through I was thinking, I was remembering this past time, I was thinking, what a absorption. I was thinking, um that stage, will it come someday? Can that stage come? And then I was thinking, And this is, we call these pure devotees as Sakshal Haritva. Haritva means they have all the qualities of Krishna. Or through pure devotees, we get a glimpse of when a pure devotee here, when he is not conscious of time in his absorption, that gives a glimpse of, yeah, they must be absorbed and there is no time there because there is no time influence here. So, so Srila Prabhupada came to give that to us. But naturally, there are many people who do not have faith. So, when a devotee is blasphemed, one should not be like it's okay. Um, I don't want to speak harsh word. And Prabhupada was not following this Gandhian movement, but it is like yes, like our examples are Hanuman. Our example, Lord Ramchandra himself, he prayed to the ocean. 3 days, ocean did not. Lord Ramchandra says, all right. He boiled the ocean actually. So it's not that anger is not there. So not tolerating. Here, one of the this 20th element of bhakti is that don't tolerate. I mean, we hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Taroriva Sahishna, tolerate like a tree. But when it comes to blasphemy of Krishna or blasphemy of devotee of Krishna, then we should not tolerate. And we say argument is prajalpa. And here it says, upon hearing the blasphemy, one should defeat the opposite party by arguments. So arguments are necessary. Anger is necessary. And we never hear that when we become advanced, we become free from anger. We never hear that. We don't see pure devotees not becoming angry. Neither do we see the Lord not becoming angry. We see Mahaprabhu becoming angry on Jagai Madhai. And we see the pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada becoming angry. One person, he said, what is the problem becoming a dog? So Prabhupada is trying to explain it. There is cycle of birth and death, spiritual word. But the thing is, it just depends upon what Prabhupada is coming from, the absorption level, and what he is hearing from, where dogs are respected. Prabhupada says, all right, I bless you, become a dog. So it's not that pure devotees don't have anger, but their anger is just to teach. Narad Muni became angry when Narad Muni saw um, our Nalakuvera Manigriva, and they were proud. What did Narad Muni do? Narad Muni, out of compassion, he cursed them to become trees. And now, how is it beneficial? Like Srila Prabhupada, we say, did Srila Prabhupada speak from a platform of false ego that he is arguing and that person is not listening to the argument? So Prabhupada became angry and he cursed them to become a dog. No, that's if we are perceiving that way, the reason we are perceiving that way is because we are bringing pure devotees to our platform. If we were there and if we say, okay, you think dog life is good, then I bless you to become a dog. First, our blessing have no value because we don't have purity. Second, if we speak, we will speak out of false ego. But if we think the pure devotee is speaking from our level, that is what is called bringing Krishna or bringing pure devotees to our level and judging them. That's why it is said the Kriya and Mudra of a Vaishnava cannot be understood. Narad Muni, we say, Narad Muni was hurt because he was so proud. He caused them to become trees. But it is Bhagavatam describes, Sukadev Goswami describes, that was the medicine for him to come out of the pride. That was the medicine. Like, sometimes suffering for one life brings many realization. If a pure devotee if a pure devotee curses, it's a lot of blessing. If a pure devotee curses to become a tree, then a pure devotee, he always wants the welfare. And that's why um, somehow or other Krishna's interference will be there. Because naturally, if a pure devotee says anything, a pure devotee is full of compassion. A pure devotee, after saying, of course, that is what is needed for that person to come out of it. But then pure devotee also says, Krishna, please take care of this person. Krishna, please call this person back to you. And that is also an inherent prayer of a pure devotee also. And that's why it is said, whatever a pure devotee does, um, a pure devotee is always thinking about the welfare of others. And in that, there is a lot of blessing. And, and Krishna does whatever the devotees want. So, not to tolerate when we hear the criticism of Krishna or when we hear criticism of his faithful devotee. If we don't act on it, then one will certainly fall down. So, options given is either you argue, defeat them, or you leave the place if you cannot defeat them. Or third option, I don't think anybody will follow, but is one should give up one's life. Otherwise, one will fall down from the position of devotion. Then Vaishnava Chinna Dhriti, wearing tilak and tulsi beads. The Vaishnavas who wear tulsi beads or lotus seeds around their necks and mark their shoulders with the sign of conch and chakra, and who have tilak on their foreheads quickly purify the earth. Anywhere they remain, they make that place as good as Vaikuntha, Padma. So anybody who wear tulsi beads around their neck, who have the sign of tilak on their forehead, they purify the earth. Anywhere they remain, they make that place as good as Vaikuntha. Wow. So that is also one of the anybody wearing, I mean, we should have faith. If you don't have faith in Shastra, then um, um, it becomes an offense to the holy name. But based on Padma Puran, Vaishnava who wear tulsi beads around their neck or have tilak on their forehead or the mark of conch and chakra, this is more for Narayan worshippers. We simply wear mark of tulsi and lotus feet on our shoulder and on different parts, 13 places in the body. Anywhere such people remain, they make that place as good as Vaikuntha. Then Namakshar Dhriti, wearing the syllables of holy name. The Yamadutas will not touch those who have the names of Hari on their bodies, Gopi Chandan Tilak on their foreheads, and Tulsi beads on their chests. And one thing is Tulsi beads should not go below. There is a खड्डा रहता है यहाँ पे ये इसके नीचे तुलसी बीट नहीं होना चाहिए. It should not fall below that. It should be above this place. Then um, Yandutas will not touch if they see. This is from Skandapura. We have heard it, but then this is a quotation from Skandapura. Then one who has the syllables of Krishna's names marked on one's body with chandan is relieved of all sinful reactions, and after that attains Krishna Loka to live with the Lord. So one who has marked some, I mean, we don't usually in ISKCON we don't see it, but sometimes people in Vrindavan they do that. They write the syllable of Krishna's name on one's body, like Krishna with Chandan, not like American tattoos. With Chandan, they write Krishna on their body. So just by writing that on one's body based on Padma Puran, one is relieved of all sinful reactions. And after that, attain Krishna Loka to live with the Lord. Wow. Then Nirmalya Dhriti. Now, from the perspective of exams, it will be nice if, for especially Vidhi Bhakti path, somebody may say, like the question can be something like, can you quote um, why can you quote some scripture that promotes or that says the importance of, say, wearing a tulsi neck bead? Can you quote? And then we may have to, I mean, we don't have to quote it as it is, we don't have to quote Sanskrit, but we should be able to say, yeah, this is what Skanda Puran says in our own words, and that is sufficient. And that's why this presentation For everything there is a quote, and this is the how Rupa Goswami defines it is it's all basically verses based. So he says the Vidhi Bhakti, what is Vaidhi Bhakti, one element of Vaidhi Bhakti, and then he supports Shastra. So what this is what is spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 64 Angas of Bhakti, and Rupa Goswami he told corroborate this or substantiate these teachings through Shastra. Because even if some people don't have faith in Rupa Goswami, even if some people don't have faith in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by reading Nectar of Devotion, because it is quoting from Bhagavatam and Skanda Puran and Padma Puran and various other scriptures, that nobody can refute. So these teachings, so they become absolute. That's why. And Prabhupada also says we should be able to quote Shastra. Then it will add value, just like a lawyer. He quotes, based on um, um, law, this and this and this, and then judge cannot say anything. So it has to be substantiated, and that's what Bhakti Shastri is about. Now, Shastri, if we say Shastri ban gaye, Shastri matlab ज्ञान है, understanding है. And what is the difference between Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, Uttam Adhikari? Especially becomes clear the difference between Madhyam and Uttam Adhikari. It is said that Uttamadhikari, he can corroborate every argument through scriptures. But Madhyam, of course, we are not Uttamadhikari, we are not a Madhyamadhikari, but I am just emphasizing the importance of knowing and understanding. We don't think we are writing this Bhakti Shastri to pass an exam or to get Brahman Diksha. That is why this course is made mandatory for Brahman Diksha. Because what is the what is the duty of a Brahmana? A duty of a Brahmana is Pathan Pathan. Pathan means he reads. Pathan means he teaches. When we don't read, when we don't teach, then what is the point of Brahmana? If you see the Brahmana, what is the role of Brahmana? The Brahmana, they live by begging and they share knowledge. Brahmana, like Prabhupada says, Brahmana means teachers. Brahmana means professors. Prabhupada says that. So how will we teach when we don't know? And we cannot teach based on this is what I think, yeah, this is very important. Everything that we do in ISKCON is covered in Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti in one of the 64 items. Many times people ask why we wear neck bead, why we have this. If somebody puts a name of Krishna on one's body, is it important or not? Or somebody says, is it okay to criticize devotees? Then what is the proof? Where does Bhagavatam says one should give up one's life or one should argue there? So where is what is written where? This ISKCON Brahmana should know. Otherwise, Shastri means they can speak. Shastri actually means they have Shastric knowledge. तो हम बोलते हैं ये शास्त्री जी आए हैं मतलब you can ask them question if somebody is a shastri. So bhakti shastri means we are becoming shastri in bhakti knowledge. So please don't take it as a pressure or naturally it is little inconvenient. I mean, when I wrote bhakti shastri, I also went through, we all go through it, but then the purpose is not to get it done. The purpose is to take advantage. If we are given a chance, we will be so busy that we don't have time to read. But then if we have to write an exam, then we'll be like, now let me hear it, let me read it attentively. And it is, you will see, I mean, we are already doing this course for almost 7 to 8 months, and I think 3, 4 more months will go, and probably 3 months. I'm hoping April end. Let's see. um, mm, but to equip ourselves in order to share this message, if not today, tomorrow. So this is Nirmalya Dhriti, honoring Krishna's paraphernalia. See, we commonly see this. Nirmalya. What is Nirmalya? In India also there is something called Nirmalya. Nirmalya means where you put the articles used by the Lord. Lord's garlands, flowers offered to him, tulsi offered to him. Now, even if you have to throw them away after used by devotees, and now they are becoming, say, they are rotting, the flowers, old flowers. So now there is nirmalya. The word nirmalya means what is used by Krishna. So nirmalya dhriti means honoring Krishna's paraphernalia. Uddhava spoke to Krishna simply by honoring the garlands. Do we honor the garlands? If not, then we should honor. Do we honor Charanamrit? Do we honor the flowers offered to the Lord? Simply by honoring the garlands. Do we honor Krishna Prasad, oils, which we get in terms of uh, um, sometimes uh, cotton swab, we put oil in there, especially in the Shingarati, if you attend morning programs, oils, clothes and ornaments that you have enjoyed, and by eating your remnants, we, your servants, will indeed conquer Maya. So somebody says, why are you wearing garland? Well, this is Lord's blessing. Correct, this is Lord's blessing. How will it help you? Why are you smelling what is offered? Still some smell is there from morning. So why are you smelling this uh, oil, perfume oil used by the Lord? Why are you eating Krishna's prasad? And this is from Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam says, by doing that, we, your servants, will indeed conquer Maya. This is actually a very powerful statement. By doing this, that's why every day we do this. And we won't even know, we won't even realize, but based on Bhagavatam. Now, if we don't believe, then either our understanding is true or Srimad Bhagavatam is true. Either Uddhava's realization is true or our speculation is true. But based on Uddhav's realization, based on Sukadev Goswami's realization, by honoring what is used by the Lord, we will conquer Maya. Even if one does not accept all the Vaishnava principles, but still take Krishna's prasad, one will gradually rise to the platform of a Vaishnava. Krishna prasad is very, very powerful. But the thing is, we may not be advanced to see the value of Krishna's prasad. Srila Prabhupada, one person, he was not willing to, Malti Prabhu told us yesterday, he not interested in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada gave a small apple to him, and then small amount of little piece of apple. And then he told Swami, this is nice. Although he was arguing, he was not in the mood to listen to philosophy. So um, why are you giving this apple to everybody? So Prabhupada smiled and Prabhupada says, I am infecting you with Krishna's mercy. By this apple, I am infecting you with Krishna's mercy, or I am I am forcing Krishna's mercy in you through this prasad. Now Srila Prabhupada has faith. But today I was reading an article by Sachindan Maharaj. Sachindan Maharaj was mentioning, he has this, if you want, you can subscribe to it. It's called Sharanagati. That's what I think. It's Maharaj gives every month he releases one small newsletter, 2, 3 topics. And then he speaks his realization, Sachin Swami. So Maharaj was speaking about um, intrinsic faith and borrowed faith. Like, we borrow something. So our faith is what we have borrowed, or our faith is intrinsic. Intrinsic means we have faith in Prasad. Borrowed faith is everybody say Prasad is powerful. So let's do it. Everybody is doing, we are doing. We are borrowing others' faith, borrowing Prabhupada's faith. But we may not have intrinsic faith in it. And Maharaj says we have to go from borrowed faith to intrinsic faith. Intrinsic or natural faith. Now, who does not have faith in Mahaprasad? Who are not pious. They don't have faith. So when I hear this, we read we should read Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmane Vaishnava. Mahaprasad, Govinda, Nam, Brahmana and Vaishnava. Vishwaso nahi vajayate. One does not develop Vishwas on them. One does not develop faith in Mahaprasad. Swalpa Punya Vitam Rajan. Whose Punya is Swalpa, oh my dear Raja. My dear Parikshit Maharaj, my dear Parikshit, one who does not have sufficient punya, or when one who have very swalpa, very little punya, not sufficient punya, faith in Mahaprasad for them does not arise. So then I was thinking, when we read this verse, it's a clear indication to me that my punya is very little. That's why faith is very little. But this is Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam says you will indeed conquer Maya by doing this. Prabhupada has faith. So Prabhupada says, I made devotees by giving prasad. Now, our understanding of I made devotees by giving prasad, I mean, they became devotees because they like to eat. So if they had a lot of gulab jamuns and this, then that food will bring them because very tasty. And then they will associate with devotees, they will hear Krishna Katha, they will attend Kirtan, and they will be infected. Our faith is, we have some faith in Kirtan, we have some faith in probably association. But I don't know how much faith we have in prasad. This prasad can make them Krishna conscious. So this is like, but Shri Prabhupada had that faith in prasad itself. Like anything connected to Krishna is very powerful. Whoever wears the garland offered to Krishna becomes free from all diseases and sins and is gradually liberated from contamination of matter. So if we commit some sins, which many of us knowingly, unknowingly may be committing some sins. There was a train station. So I was going with one devotee, and then we were smelling something. And, and this devotee told me, Prabhu, this is Mariana. I don't know, Marujana, whatever they call it. It's a drug, intoxicating drug, marijuana. So I said, so Prabhu, we are breaking regulative principle then here. So I don't know, I said, Pata nahi what all is happening for us in America. But anyways, sometimes sins are performed knowingly, sometimes sins are performed unknowingly. But if you knowingly perform sins, naturally the reaction is a little bit more severe. That is also Krishna's mercy to bring us on the right path. Either sin or disease, one is actually liberated by wearing the garland offered to the Lord. Do we honor, especially those who have home deities? I mean, I don't think devotees offer garlands usually, or flowers when we offer to the Lord. Do we honor them? Usually, I have seen we do honor when we get a flower in the temple, but do we honor when we take out the flower from the home deities or any article from the home deities? And that's why, it's very easy to develop familiarity also. Yeah, every day we get, that's okay. It's okay. Throw. But if we honor and if we see, that's why we say Shastra Chakshu. We want to live our life according to Shastra, not according to our perception. Because our perception is not perfect. Because our perception is material by nature. We are conditioned to see everything from a material perspective. Do we have faith when we do arati and there is a lamp we touch? Is it more like a ritual, or do we have faith? Just by doing this, I can conquer Maya. And that's why knowledge helps. It is described, bhakti is very simple, but bhakti is so simple that we miss it. It is so simple that we miss it. Somebody may say, just vibrate the words and you attain Krishna. That's all. And you do these simple things. It is so simple actually. It is, I mean, it's Susukam Avyayam. It is joyfully performed, but very, very simple. And it is also described how bhakti can become mechanical. And mechanical bhakti means, mechanical, we understand the heart is not there. It becomes ritualistic. It becomes routine. And the heart is not there. Activity continues. And that is also beneficial. Making routine or something which is a good habit is also beneficial. But if we consciously try to put our heart in that, And if we try to put knowledge in that, what we are hearing, if we try to apply that, have faith in Bhagavatam, in Skanda Puran, in Uddhav, Uddhav's realization, Sukadev Goswami's Vani, and our spiritual master's Vani, who speak the words of Guru and Gauranga, Rup and Gauranga. Seeing from the Shastra, Chakshuda, the vision of Shastra may give a new life to our process, to what we are practicing. Then there is Agre Dandamam, dancing before the deity. One who dances before the Lord in devotional ecstasy burns up sinful reactions accumulated for hundreds of manvantaras. Dwarka Mahatmya. So this says one who dances before the Lord in devotional ecstasy burns up sinful reactions accumulated for hundreds of manvantaras. So what is the motivation behind the dancing in devotional ecstasy? Devotional ecstasy means with bhakti. When we raise our hands to dance in front of the Lord, we are we are trying to dance in a bhakti mood, in a prayerful mood. And sometimes we may feel ecstasy, and sometimes we don't. We all have the same experiences. So one who dances before the Lord in devotional ecstasy, when some bhav is coming or some mood, some prayerful mood, and we are able to connect that. And Srila Prabhupada showed what is Swami step. And what is Swami step? Raise your hand, one step forward, one step back, one step forward, one step back, one step forward, one step back. That is a very simple dance we can do. Now we can do more dance also, and in whichever way you want to express your devotional ecstasy, there is no hard and fast rule that one has to dance in a particular way only. And this is one step that Srila Prabhupada showed us, but either ways, some form of dancing. Like if you see, especially Mangal Arati, going forward, going backwards. Sometimes we don't raise hand also. Just one step forward, one step back, one step forward, one step back, and then putting our heart into the kirtan, putting our heart into in a prayerful mood, and that will burn up sinful reactions accumulated for hundreds of manvantaras, not hundreds of years, not hundreds of lifetimes, hundreds of manvantaras. One manvantara is 71 Divya Yugas. No need to describe more in detail. From the body of any person who joyfully claps and dances before the deity, all the birds of sinful activities fly upward. So through this clap, the birds of sinful activity are going up. And one can see, yes, I'm very sinful by nature. This is, we are in devotional ecstasy backed by knowledge. If we don't have knowledge, what do we tell to our children? Why you are dancing? Dancing. Why am I dancing? Well, I'm dancing because by dancing, all the sins are burned by dancing in front of the Lord. One who dances before the Lord in devotional ecstasy, all the sins. Why our new generation, especially not devotees generation, general people, why they are going astray, deviating, because they don't have answers to their questions. Then it becomes a ritual. Once it becomes ritual, it becomes boring because no motivation, no knowledge. It becomes ritual, then it just becomes mechanical. And then when we don't put our heart in it, slowly it just starts. It's becoming more and more dry, and then it starts going out. Dandavan Natihi, bowing before down the deity. Even 10 horse sacrifice.
One question. The reference of the clapping, where is that? Like that sin Sabya heard in one of the lecture also. When
Where
we
is it
clap in
from?
front of, where it is from? Probably is in Bhagavatam, Skand Puran.
See, I don't remember. Somehow it's not here in the presentation. I
So
don't
I
put
heard
it
couple
down.
of times when we clap, in the arti or anywhere, like whatever in our, all rekhai, I mean our hand, whatever sin karma, we, burn that while clapping.
I will tell you next week, Prabhuji. I will double check with the book and then I will tell you.
And because it's mentioned like probably Dwarka Mahatmya, it's the same. It's a Skand Puran, I think, that section in the Skand Puran. Is that there? It's coming from there, or it's a separate point that?
Dwarka Mahatmya itself is a Shastra.
Yeah, it's a Skand Puran. It's a section in the Skand Puran.
So what is the question?
So this that clapping is also part of that. It's only talk about dancing here.
Yeah, that I will confirm you next week.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah. Hare
Okay. I will double check and just make sure if this is the case. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Himanshu Prabhu. Then there is Dandavanatihi, bowing down before the deity. Even 10 horse sacrifice cannot equal one pranam offered to Krishna. It's too much. This is too much benediction, too much blessings actually. Even 10 horse sacrifice cannot equal even one pranam offered to Krishna. Once the pious credits of 10 horse sacrifices are finished, the performer has to take birth again. But one who offers pranam to Krishna's deity does not take birth again, but goes to Krishna's abode. Naradiya Puran. Also Bhagavatam Puran. Bhagavad Puran also says if anybody even once bow down before Lord Krishna, don't bring them here. Um, that verse is beyond me. But Yamaraj does mention this to Yamdutas. Don't bring them before me. How we understand is with love and devotion. One bowing down, Krishna, please protect me, with our heart, with love and devotion. That's how, and His Holiness Sadhana Swami Maharaj says that one pranam, to get to the point of one pranam, we try to do pranam every day to get to that. Just like we say, one holy name can remove sins. Then we hear that it should be either Nam Abhas or Shuddha Nam, either. Like Ajamil was Namabhas, either of the name. So we hear, but then we hear many Falastuti, and Radhanath Maharaj says repeated remembrance of this will give us that benediction. But the power is there. The power is there that one bowing down before the Lord is way greater than 10 Ashwamedh Yagya, because Ashwamedh Yagya, once the pious credit, one takes birth again in the earthly planet. By Ashwamedh Yagya, you can go to heaven. Naturally, you become free from sin. You get a lot of piety. You go to heaven, you come down. But one pranam never take birth again because you go to spiritual Vaikuntha lokas. This from Naradiya Purana. Then there is Abhyuthanam, standing up to receive the Lord. The person who stands up upon seeing the Lord in the Rath Yatraka and being carried on a palanquin will have all sins destroyed. So just standing, just seeing the Lord on the Rath can free us from the sins. This from Brahmanda Puran. Then there is Anuvrajya, following the deity. Even if one is born in a low family, if one goes along with the Lord's procession, besides, behind, or in front of it, is elevated to the position of achieving equal opulence with Vishnu. So this is, there are five kind of mukti. One of them is Shashti, Shashti, or Shrishti, Shashti, which basically you get the same opulence as the Lord in Vaikuntha. And it says that if one follows along with the procession, goes behind or goes in front, and we can remember this. I mean, we don't do it in our temples in US generally, but in Vrindavan in Mayapur, they take the Lord and they do a procession. Or Jagannath, we can apply to Jagannath. There also we take a Lord and we go through the procession just by following the Lord. And this is also a way to offer respect to the Lord. When a great person is coming, then we want to follow them. And when the Lord is coming, we want to follow them in a mode of humble service. Then there is Thane Gati, going to temples or holy places. Holy places, the 2 feet that go to the Lord's Tirtha, like Vrindavan, Mathura, or Dwarka, are praiseworthy. Such traveling enables one to cross over the dangerous desert of material existence. By using, see, it's Padasevana, visiting holy tirthas. We may not see what is the benefit of visiting holy tirtha. I went There also I went to ISKCON temple in Mayapur. I went to ISKCON temple in Vrindavan. Then, we stayed in the temple, we came back. But in especially Vrindavan, Mayapur, it's not only the deities which have Mahatma, it's the place itself which is lot of Mahatma. Because the Raj of Vraj, the Govardhan, the Yamuna, and the Lord personally performed his pastimes there. It is Lord's own personal abode. The dust Vraj Raj contains the dust on the feet of the Lord, and from all the eternal associates of the Lord, all the pure devotees, all the sadhakas and sadhus and Vaishnavas. So that place itself has lot of Mahatma. Some places, place has Mahatma. Some places, the deities have Mahatma, like Radha Govinda in Jaipur. Deities have Mahatma. Deities have importance. Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govind Dev, Radha, um, Radha Damodar, Radha Gopinath, they are there in Jaipur, Karoli. That deities have Mahatma. But especially in Vrindavan, you may go to, maybe say, you may go to Radha Kund. Now there are many temples there, but the place has importance. Radha Kund, Shyam Kund, Giriraj. There are many temples in Giriraj, but the place itself has importance. Yamuna, or various places, Krishna's performed all the pastimes with the cowherd boys and the gopis. Place has importance. So just by doing that, one is getting free from the dangerous desert of material existence. Why it's called desert of material existence? Because never quench our thirst for inner fulfillment, this material world. And Maya is very strong. One should always be careful of Maya. Like Srila Prabhupada, we should pray, Krishna, please protect me from your illusory energy, because Maya is very strong. It's illusion, but it's a very powerful illusion. Then there is temples. The intelligent person who enters the Vishnu temple to see the Lord with pure devotion does not again enter the prison of the mother's womb. Hari Bhakti Sudhoday. Intelligent person who enters the Vishnu temple to see the Lord with pure devotion. If you see the Lord with pure devotion in the temple, does not again enter the prison of a mother's womb. This is very, very important. Not to see the Lord from a material vision. If you see the Lord from material vision, we will commit an offense to the Lord. So try to understand this point. The Lord is divine. The Lord's form is divine. The Lord's Archa Vigraha is divine. Please try to understand this. Attentively listen. Sometimes some deities, like one time I saw Laddu Gopal. One eyes broken. It actually broke. So this side, it was like just plain brass skin. This side, it was an eye, which was full of mud and other things. So they thought, this deity is not very attractive, or it's very old, it has broken. So they bought a new from the store, and who looks very nice. And they were feeling bad what to do with this. So, they came and left uh, in the temple, where the hundi box. They just kept there and they left. So what we are seeing Laddu Gopal is, we are seeing Laddu Gopal from the perspective that it pleases our eyes. But if you see, you can give the same Laddu Gopal to a painter. There are many people who paint the deities of the Lord, and they can make very nice eyes to Laddu Gopal. Again, and they can paint Laddu Gopal with a brass metallic paint, and they can make a very nice eye. Now, is that Laddu Gopal? Now it's again very attractive. Whether the Laddu Gopal before, with a broken eye, who is not looking so great, and this Laddu Gopal, both are the same Sachidananda Vigraha. They are the Lord Himself, but we are conditioned to appreciate through beauty. We are conditioned to say, oh, the smile is very nice. so merciful today. The smile is not nice, so I don't like to see them today because I don't like to see them today. So we are very much conditioned by material attraction. Our eyes are conditioned. We see everything from our consciousness, and that's where there is a chance of not seeing the Lord through Shastra, through a divine vision. But it's just like, there is a person. He dressed in a coat, pant, tie. He looks very handsome. Then he dresses in, shivered hairs, just woke up, and maybe some foam is coming from his mouth, and the face is withered, and wearing some very ugly clothes. And then it is very nice. After this makeup and everything, now so nice and now not so nice. Likewise, the Lord also can have makeup, but the person is the same with makeup, without makeup. Likewise, the Lord is the same with the painting of eye, without the painting of a eye. Oh, I don't like this deity so much, but I connect more to this deity, not to this deity. Sir, give up your material vision. Don't say the word connection is more of a divine word. Give up your material vision of seeing. Oh, this temple I really like to go because they are smiling. You want to make Radharani smile? You know what you have to do to make Radharani smile? Is you can paint in such a way that there are ways to make her look smile, that she is smiling. Make her look like that. How? The corners have to be painted black, and then there are ways you can figure out the features of the Lord, and in a general perspective. But actually, a devotee, independent of independent of see, I'm giving one angle. I'm giving a material angle, based on the Lord's makeup. Don't judge the Lord. The worship of the Lord. Now, how will you worship Govardhan? He does not have eyes. In order to worship Govardhan, devotees put eyes, devotees put lips, devotees put a nose through Chandan. Now he looks like, yeah, I can see Krishna today. But the Govardhan is Govardhan, whether you make a face onto him or you don't make a face onto him. Or Shaligram Shila is Narayan. Whether you paint him that you can see a facial feature or you don't paint him. Just like Shaligram Shila, just like Govardhan, wherever the worship is going on, the Lord is there. If you have a child, and if your child is supposed not very beautiful, will you not like him? Or do you always want the child to have the makeup and have the cat and, you know, टोपी क्या बोलते हैं, cap, have this, and now he looks very good. Now I love him more. And now he wakes up in the morning and he looks ugly and he passes urine on his diaper, and then, now I hate him. So just like we don't put material vision there, why? Because we are seeing from the vision of love. Likewise, deities have to be approached with a vision of love. Deities have come in to accept our loving service. And sometimes we may think like, this home deities, my home deities are good, these home deities are better, this home deities, this is all material vision, all seeing. And but I mean, we are deceased, we are conditioned souls, but through Shastra we can understand that this is the Lord, this is Shrimati Radharani, and this is Gopi Jana Vallabha, or whatever one. This is Mahaprabhu and this is Nityananda Prabhu. And why they have come to me, or those who have deities at home, why they have come to me? They have come to me to accept my loving service. They have come to me to give me a chance to render loving service to them. Now, isn't it a great fortune? If the Lord has come to your home to accept loving service from you, you may think, I bought it. But we never buy the Lord with money. Nobody, the Lord comes by his own free will. Ahankara vimudatma kartam. We can think I am the doer of this activity, but everything, the Lord is the Lord, and Lord comes by his own sweet free will in our homes. and he comes to accept loving service from us. And that's how we should see the Lord, independent of the dress they wear, the makeup they have on their face. It's all external. You can keep on changing. In our temples also, all is called temple. Every year we have touch-ups. When Radha Gopijana Vallabha were in India, they have one facial expressions. When they came to US, have another, and then we again change their eyes and change their lips, and now they have another facial expression now. But they are Radha and Krishna, and the Lord has come to accept our loving service in each of our individual homes. So, anybody who enters the temple of Vishnu and sees the Lord with pure devotion. That's why I came to this topic of seeing the Lord with pure devotion, independent of how Lord looks. What is the height of my deities? What is just the Lord has come to accept my service. That's all that matters. And that person does not enter the prison of mother's womb. Mother's womb is compared to a prison. Today Malati Prabhu was mentioning, quoting Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I was really contemplating on this statement. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, from the time one comes in contact with Hare Krishna mantra or with devotees, it takes 4 lifetimes to go back to Goloka. Saraswati Thakur statement. Then I asked Malti Prabhu, isn't Prabhupada said in 40 years you can attain perfection? Then Malti Prabhupada said, did not say 40 years you attain perfection, but devotee asked question, how much time it takes to chant without offenses? And Prabhupada says around 40 years to chant without offenses. But that does not mean that chanting without offenses will take us to Goloka. But Saraswati Thakur says 4 lifetimes. And then Malti Prabhu says, but we don't know which life. Is it our 3rd life? Is it our 4th life? Is it our 1st life? And then I was thinking, this is such a short time. Anybody hears the Hare Krishna Mahamantra first time, first meeting of devotee, or first taking of a book, the moment he comes in contact, Saraswati Thakur says, from there, 4 lifetimes to Goloka. I was thinking, this is nothing. I mean, 4 times sitting in a room, I'm not saying this is a great idea. It's not a great idea, but it is still great. Only 4 lifetimes. And then another thought came. And then I thought, if I am in, say, 2nd life, somebody is in 1st life, am I better than them? After 4 life of that person, after 4 life of my person, we all have the same purity. But if it is my 2nd life, if somebody is 1st life, am I better than them? And then I was thinking, there is, sorry, I was blabbering some words. Cars. There is a supply chain in the cars. Sorry, it's a material example, but sometimes I like to contemplate and just think, and the statement spoken by our acharya. So I was contemplating, I was thinking while driving. There is car. It takes few hours to make a car. Some car, after say 2 hours, is ahead than some car which is only 1 hour spent in building. So it only has a axle or some wheels. That car also has a body. Is that car better than this car? If we think, say the processing time is 4 lives. Somebody is starting now, somebody is starting later, somebody is starting much later. But ultimately, everyone constitutionally is a pure soul, part and parcel of Krishna. And when we go to spiritual world, there is no concept of like, in other words, um, there is nothing good in us that makes us, there is nothing of distinction. in us. Because one of the subtle desires and distinction, or I'm special, or I have this, or I'm more serious, or I am more, I do this. It doesn't really make any difference. If we, and I was hearing His Holiness Sadhana Swami Maharaj in Chicago, Maharaj was saying that if some people may be more advanced. Maharaj says we don't become proud because we know that everyone is a pure devotee of Krishna, and with a little practice over a period of time, everyone will be a pure devotee. So it doesn't make much sense to find fault in devotees or to think oneself to be a better devotee than somebody else. Because if you just say 10 lifetimes or 5 lifetimes, anybody we are in contact with will be at the same level. If after 5 lifetimes we are at the same level, because once you are pure, then you go back to Golok Vrindavan. So if after 5 lifetimes we're the same level for the rest of eternity, does it make much difference? Doesn't make much difference. So I asked Malti Prabhu, so Prabhu, how can we remain in the mode of servant of servant? And she said, there is no other option, because if you realize that is our eternal position, then we will attain, then we will act on that level also. So, anyways, even one time, this is about visiting temple, this is about visiting holy places, then parikrama, circumambulating Vishnu. If a person circumambulates Vishnu's deity in a temple, one can counteract the circumambulation of repeated birth and death. Again, Hari Bhakti, Sudhodaya. Importance of circumambulating the Lord's deity. In temples in India, especially, they have way to circumambulate. When I was living in Radha Gopijana Vallabha Mandir, we cannot circumambulate Radha Gopijana Vallabha. I didn't do many times, but sometime I'll go from outside, from the garden, and that way one circumambulation of Radha Gopijana Vallabha. But there is importance from Shastra of circumambulation. And in every, it's a Vedic culture. Whatever temples are there, the tradition in Mayapur, there's circumambulation. In Vrindavan, they have opportunity. In Indian temples, many times in ISKCON temple also, opportunity to circumambulate. I see devotees, they circumambulate and they chant. Those who have chanting and walking habit. One who circumambulates the deity 4 times is understood to have seen all the holy places where the Ganges is flowing. Anybody who circumambulates the deities 4 times is understood to have seen all the holy places. Wherever Ganges flow, all those holy places are seen. You get the benefit of seeing and visiting all the holy places where Ganges are flowing if you circumambulate a deity 4 times. And by following Chaturmasya, one can very quickly be raised to the platform of devotional service. Skanda Purana. Circumambulation of the deity is superior to visiting tirthas because it more quickly produces devotion to the Lord than going to tirthas such as the Ganga. There it's circumambulation is more important than even to visiting Mother Ganges or Yamuna. It just by 4 times circumambulating the deity. Then Archana, deity worship. By worshipping the deity, one confirms oneself to be not the body but spirit soul. We'll discuss this as the last slide for today. It's 9:11. So we did till 30 in that case. So deity worship, by worshipping the deity, one confirms oneself to be not the body but spirit soul. You will get that. You are confirming that when you're worshipping the Lord. You are confirming that you are not the body but you are spirit soul. Another thing, Kapila Muni, it's not here, but Bhagavatam says, Kapila Muni says, one benediction you get by worshipping the deity is you will start seeing the Lord in the heart of all living entities. And actually, that is the platform of Uttamadhikari. When you see the Lord in the naturally, spontaneously see the Lord in the heart of all living entities. And Kapila Muni, third canto says, one should continue worshipping the deities as long as it takes to see the Lord in the heart of all living entities. Once you get to that stage of Uttamadhikari, then anyways you see the Lord everywhere. then Lord is everywhere for you. But till we don't see that, worshipping deity will bring you to that point. That's why Rupa Goswami includes deity worship on the same level with, he says, five most potent, on the same level with Bhagavatam, on the same level with association, on the same level with Harinam. He includes two more. One is deity worship, one is visiting the holy places or living in a holy place. Then by worshipping Krishna, one can easily attain all the results of heavenly opulence, liberation, supremacy over all planets, opulences, and mystic powers. There are various mystic powers that also are attained simply by worshipping the deity form of the Lord. All the opulences and liberation. Heavenly, we are not interested in heavenly opulence, but one will attain that also. Those who perform archan of Vishnu go to the ever blissful kingdom of God Vaikuntha, which is full of bliss. Vishnu Rahasya. One who arranges for service to the Lord in the same way that a king is served is surely elevated to Krishna's abode after death. Just like if there is a king and how the servants serve the king. Likewise, when the Lord is there, and if we arrange for serving the Lord in that way, with care, with opulence, then one is surely elevated to Krishna's abode after death. So that's all uh, we do. Okay, we dealt till 30. If there are any discussions, we can take now. Anyone have any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, one quick question.
Yes, Prabhu.
So following the deity of the Lord in Mayapur when I went, Prabhu, so they do Prabhupada, they Parikrama kind of Prabhupada, follow the whole temple, they. So if we follow the deity of Prabhupada also like Guru in terms of Jagat Guru, that is also auspicious, Prabhuji, correct?
Yes,
Because we saw that
same Prabhu, same benefit.
same thing, correct?
Because it is said external manifestation of Krishna is Guru. Internal manifestation of Krishna is Paramatma. Direct Sakshat manifestation of Krishna is in Vrindavan. And literary manifestation of Krishna is Bhagavatam. And stone manifestation of Krishna is Govardhan. Devotee manifestation of Krishna is Mahaprabhu. So same level.
Includes another question like when our deity, like as you mentioned, like Laddu Gopal, one eye was not there. I understand, Prabhuji, from attachment to the deity for a devotee, because they want to take care of the deity in any aspect. I understand, like if there is not an eye, our relationship, if we consider that as a deity, it's not like we need to replace the deity, but at least for taking care of the deity in terms of painting and things is also necessary, Prabhuji. I mean, not
Is painting necessary?
you kind of like I have a deity for Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, some paint, some chip off, so we feel like oh, we need to do that, correct, because we need to take care of the deity in all aspect, like dressing, cleaning, and in terms of caring of the deities in any aspect. Otherwise wood may come
Yeah,
off
we
or some.
should care, Prabhu. In our temples also today, Malati Prabhu came, she saw Nitai Nadi Chandra, we have gone Nitai. So the hand, little red painting, they have red hand. So on the thumb, little red paint was coming off. So she said, paint them red. You can use this paint and do in this manner, and you can do it. So it's part of, you want the Lord to look beautiful for the pleasure of the Lord. But what I was trying to say is, independent of how the Lord is, how he looks, he is still the Lord. We can do makeup. This is all like, makeup. But the Lord is the Lord.
Mhm.
Whether the eye is looking like this or like this, our devotion should not change. But generally, because of material vision, more bhav comes out when they have a smiling face. But this is more like a mental platform there. Did I answer? That's what I was trying to say. See the Lord as the Lord. But we must try to
Yeah,
Yeah.
why I was thinking, Prabhuji, like I understand what you're saying, Prabhu, but in the like deities are wooden deities, correct? So we need to take care. Other if we'll not take care, like there might be damage to wood also. Water content. Wood can damage with the water. So that's why we need to paint so that water
Yes.
resistance can be the wood. Um, uh, that's what I was thinking, Prabhu.
Yes, we must, yeah, Prabhu, we must paint. We must take care of them. I agree. If that is your question, yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Then that, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Vipranam. Prabhuji,
Then
one follow-up question is like you mentioned, we should not see, or we should see each and every detail as Radha Krishna. But sometimes it happens, Prabhuji, like we serve a particular deity like Radha Gopi Janavala. So we develop more attachment. So we feel like these deities are very beautiful, and sometimes unknowingly we say also, okay, Radha Gopi Janavala, very beautiful deities, or I have never seen such a beautiful deities. So doing this is okay, Prabhuji, or it's not good.
yeah, that is good, Mataji. Now, there is a concept of our Ishtadev, and Bhagavatam says our Ishtadev is our Guru. And at the same time, we may have a deity form who is an Ishtadev. So there it says, I mean, Shivram Maharaj mentions, if we have attachment to a particular deity, then whichever temple we go, we see the deities who are beloved of our heart. We see them in every temple we go. So the difference is we don't see that deities are better than this deity, but we see them in wherever we are. Wherever we are still seeing Radha Krishna. We are not comparing them, but we are seeing the Lord of our heart in all the other Archa Vigraha.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And my Lord is standing, my Radha Gopi Javalabh is standing in the form of Radha Govind Dev.
Yes, Prabhuji. But Prabhuji, unwanted thoughts, it automatically comes. Okay, those deities are very beautiful, or those deities are not, I mean, that much beautiful. Why does it happen, Prabhuji?
Uh, that's because we are kind of, you know, we are conditioned to appreciate beauty. Something beautiful we are attracted, something ugly we don't like, and this is because we are in duality. This is part of being in this world, Mataji. I mean, see, the thing is, I'm speaking about myself. Tasty food I like, untasty food I may leave it, I may not taste it. We are attracted to nice kirtan, nice melody, very very harmonious, very nice, and I don't like this kirtan. We are in duality. And as long as that is there, we are still a product of this material nature. But when we see from Shastra, from Shastrik, at some point of time, Krishna says, Te dvanda moha nirmukta. When we become free from dvanda and moha, when we become free from duality and illusion. Ah, so then we go back to Krishna. Why is it like that? It is natural. What can I do? uh, I can see from the eye of scripture, and I can use my intelligence to defeat my mind. I can train my mind. I can have discrimination with my intelligence based on Shastra. This is Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. This is Supreme Personality of Beloved Goddess Srimati Radharani, and they're standing in front of me in this form. And seeing intellectually with discrimination beyond what we like and what we don't like, and training ourselves. And I asked Maldi Prabhu, how do we do that? She said, practice, practice, practice.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay.
Also, Prabhuji, I would like to thank you for
Prabhuji and
sharing.
Pranam.
Maybe
Go ahead,
Maldi.
Mataji.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
So no, Madhuri. Also, Prabhuji, I was just wanted to say thank you for sharing Malti Prabhu's today's lecture, Prabhuji. It's very hope giving. Like you, I was also thinking, oh, it's just 4 lifetime.
Yeah, whole
Because
life is nothing actually.
before that, I was like, it is impossible. Birth after birth, I don't know when we are gonna get that stage. But after hearing it is really hopeful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
And we should not see, and we should respect all devotees. But I was thinking, when we see comparison is not good. Comparison, I mean, I don't know how to explain, but comparison is not good. Why? Because ultimately, after 4 lifetimes, we all are pure devotees. So rather, let me be sincere in my services. Let me not
That's
think that go ahead, Mataji.
That's a very powerful point, Prabhuji. So this
Uh,
is how we can apply in our seeing others. Okay, everybody is one after a point. Everybody is gonna be at that position. It's just matter of time and practice.
That's what I was thinking, and I felt very positive from that.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mansi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us a hope about 4 lifetimes. That means a lot.
It is Saraswati Thakur. I'm just repeating. But yes, thank you.
Yes. So, Prabhuji, are there any rules of circumambulation? Because in our temple also straight away circumambulation is not possible. And if I have to do it, either the option is go from outside, then I won't be able to take the darshans of the Lord inside. Or the second option is I go from kitchen to pujari room and then come into the temple, like crossing few doors in between.
That is okay. There is no rules. You can go outside. You can go from kitchen to pujari room and then to temple hall and then enter again into the kitchen and then pujari room. If you are in a pujari clothes, that's perfectly fine. It's also
Okay. And if we do it from outside, Prabhuji, because if we are not in that proper clothes sometimes.
Yeah, perfect.
So can we wear shoes while doing it from
Yes.
outside because it's being cold? Okay.
Yeah, that is okay. Now, see, Mataji, you have been to Vrindavan?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Did you do Vrindavan Parikrama?
Unfortunately, no, Prabhuji. I got sick.
Yeah, it takes 3-4 hours. By that parikrama, you do parikrama of 5,000 temples.
Krishna.
Imagine 5,000 temples parikrama. You do by one parikrama of Vrindavan, which is just take 3 hours. So what I'm saying is that is also parikrama of 5,000 temples. We're not going just around the deity. We are not seeing the deity. We are maybe going outside the temple. So it's parikrama. It is still circumambulating 5,000 temples. We get the same benefit. So there is no rules.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And Prabhuji, does bowing down in front of home deity has the same impact as bowing down in front of temple deity?
Wow, that's an amazing point. I asked exactly the same question to Nasimha Rupa Prabhu. Nasim Rupa Prabhu, he is the deity ministry in charge.
Okay.
And I think he serves in England. So when I was going to the Pujari training in Mayapur, then he came to teach that course. I think his name is something with Narsimha. Next word I don't remember. But anyways, Prabhu mentioned there is no difference between home deity and temple deity. The difference is in our mind.
Okay.
We think temple deities are more powerful than home deity. But there is no difference because it is the same Lord Chaitanya, it is the same Nityananda Prabhu, it is the same Krishna, it is the same Srimati Radha. They have manifested to accept loving service in our home or in the temple.
Okay. Prabhuji, thank you, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, if we have deity paraphernalia at our home, and if we bow down in that paraphernalia, thinking or maybe assuming that deity is still in there, is that okay to do that?
I didn't understand. I mean, you mean you have paraphernalia means your clothes or their clothes?
Deity's clothes. So if we have
Okay.
deity clothes, like for example, I have a cloth from Srimati Radharani,
Okay.
which I got on Janmashtami Day. So it's from Srimati Radharani. So I always keep that in front of my eyes. Like I just kept it in one chair. I'm in front of me basically, so I can take the darshan of that dress every single day. And whenever I start chanting or start my reading, I always pray to that dress, assuming Srimati Radharani is present there. Like, please help me so I can please the Lord. So is that okay to keep it, Prabhuji?
Yeah, the
That way.
anything used by the Lord, by
Mhm.
honoring that, will become free from illusory energy based on Bhagavatam. So
So
we can
right.
honor, we can worship. Yes.
Okay.
The Lord's paraphernalia is worshipable. Nothing perfect.
And right now I have kept that on chair, like just in open, like on my living room. Is that okay to put it in bag and then keep it so it can be safe from all the dust and
That
everything?
is okay. Either one is okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Remember.
Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeshwar,
Dhanyavad pranam. Prabhuji, I have a question that is kind of difficult. The
yes.
deity in
Yes.
the house to do the parikrama.
What is your question?
The question is, when the deity is in the house, like we have our temple, it's difficult to do the parikrama.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. You can do parikrama of your house.
Outside.
Yeah, why not? The Lord is there. See, everything is based on consciousness.
Yeah.
If you think your home is a material home and why I'm doing it, then you won't get benefit. But if you're doing parikrama, thinking that I'm doing parikrama of my deity at home, then
Okay.
the Lord Bhavagai Janardana, he will accept it for sure.
Definitely. Tomorrow is temperature -1, Prabhuji. So,
I no, you don't need to go now.
but you answered my question, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.
Never.
It was an excellent lecture, Prabhu. You really cleared my mind today. It was so wonderful.
Trying to clear
Thank
my mind also, Mataji.
you.
All the clouds and all the dust. We just like, we just speak to ourselves. Oh, this is what I should be doing. This is what I should be doing.
There's so much to learn, Prabhuji. There's so much, we
From
are
Shastra, yes. And
so
we are trying,
ignorant, we don't have all this knowledge. So
we are
it's
trying to learn together. Yes.
Probably one more question. When we get the paraphernalia of the Lord, like a garland, and then we wear, and after that, like garland, when it's gonna get, dry, how to take, where we need to kept afterwards,
Yeah.
after
Okay.
certain period of time,
So
so
what
that
we
it.
do in the temple, I asked this question to Tirthapad Prabhu. He is one of the head pujari in Radha Kunj Bihari, Detroit temple. So he does his Radha Kunj Bihari every single day. And there was one more devotee who was a pujari of Radha Kunj Bihari. I asked him also. So he said, what we do is we either put it in kitchen trash. If your kitchen trash is pure, usually in kitchen, we don't take our plates, we don't put our own remnants into kitchen trash. We have an outside trash, we have a kitchen trash. Kitchen is considered as Radharani's kitchen, and outside is more like we use it for personal stuff also. So in our center, we put it in kitchen trash. If you have only one trash, main trash, then we can put it in a poly bag so that doesn't touch the other trash. See, in temples, even if you put in kitchen trash, ultimately the kitchen trash and the outside trash goes into the bin outside, and that goes away. So ultimately everything gets mixed eventually. But what Prabhu was mentioning, it is protected, it is not touched, and it is just a way that we are showing honor to Lord's paraphernalia. But in India, they dig the ground, it's called Nirmalya, or they put in a holy river. But because of practical purposes, this is what we do in US.
Can't we put it in our garden area where all the plants and all, like as a, is it okay? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I used to do that, bro. I don't know.
I mean, it
Add
can be
in the
used.
mud,
Yeah,
in the mud, yeah.
it can be used as a manure, as a fertilizer, and we can do that. Just make sure nobody steps on it.
Yeah, usually don't nobody goes there.
Yeah, and that is okay. But then in winter, then we can use the same. kitchen thing.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So, all right, I think it's okay to end here. Thank you for joining and encouraging me. My obeisances to all of you. Vansha kalpatarubhesha kripa sindhubhe परितानम पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. And please submit all your assignments and exams up to NOI by Tuesday midnight. We will release the list of devotees who are appearing for this year on 17th. Thank you very much. Dharma Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you so much,
Namaskar.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dhanvat
Thank you
pranam.
very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Dharma Pranam. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat
Thank you.
pranam.
Hare Krishna.